This week's show is not sponsored by, but dedicated to a very special event that happens once a year, every year, and that is the Boston Marathon. The Boston Marathon started in the year 1897 and is one of the most popular marathons in the world, and is one of the only marathons where you actually have to qualify to actually race in it. Well, for me, I raise funds, but yes, qualify to run in the marathon. The Boston Marathon holds a very special place in my heart, and I'll be telling you all about it. In this week's show, the Boston Marathon Commitment. A triathlete proposes at a race, and the said yes in sneakers, Cinderella. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Ruben Austria, founder of Triathlete.com, an inspired community of triathletes inspiring others. This week's quote: unless commitment is made, there's only promises and hopes, but no plans. This week's show was inspired by one of my friends in Triathlon in Boston and what he was able to do and what he was committed to do recently. I'll talk about my Boston Marathon commitment and why it means so much to me. In the news, I'm going to share a story about a triathlete that goes to great lengths to do what he needs to do to show his commitment to his girlfriend. And the said yes in sneakers, Cinderella, Triathlete of the Week. It's going to be a great show. Thank you for tuning in, and let's get to it. Obviously, if you've been tuning into the show, been watching for the past 11 episodes, you'll know that the theme of Triathlon is that triathlon transcends life. Endurance sports transcends life. At the Boston Marathon last year, I made a huge commitment. Endurance sports was already a big part of my life, so I wanted to use one of the biggest events of the year in Boston to share my commitment with the one that I loved. So that special someone that I'm referring to is my fiance, Johanna. Well, she wasn't my fiance before this moment. You know, she's my #1 fan, and you know, she supports me at a lot of the races that I attend, triathlons or running events that I do. So I figured one of the biggest events of the year, Boston, where the focus is on the runners and really just, you know, focusing on being present at the event, I really wanted to use that opportunity and propose to her at the Boston Marathon. So I convinced my friends and family and her friends and family to be there at the finish line of the Boston Marathon. For all you Boston residents, this would be Boylston Street, probably a block from the Boston Public Library, literally 1.5 blocks from the finish line. So she had absolutely no idea what was going on. She had actually driven me to Hopkinton that morning. Hopkinton is where the starting line for the Boston Marathon is. And I can just remember thinking that, wow, if I can pull this off, this is going to be a really memorable moment. At this point, I didn't know whether or not she knew what was going on. And maybe if she knew, maybe she didn't really want to tell me that she knew. You know, because maybe she didn't want to spoil it for me. So anyways, I started the race. It was a perfect day for a run. An absolute perfect day for all you runners out there. It was probably 65 degrees, nice and cool, not too hot, not too cold. And it turns out that I started pretty well, but man, it would be my worst ever marathon finish. The reason why it was so difficult was because maybe 10 miles or halfway into it, I started cramping really bad. The only way I was able to finish and get to the end was knowing that I had a job to do at the end. In fact, I was running the Boston Marathon with my great friends Billy and Larry, and I had Billy right on the back of my jersey proposing at the finish line. And by doing that, I was able to get a lot of support from fellow runners. There were some people telling me to turn around, but you know, I knew that they were joking. So anyhow, I get to the Boylston Street, the last street of the Boston Marathon, which is probably about almost a half mile. Looking around, making sure I don't pass the large group of family and friends. And lo and behold, right before the Boston Public Library, I see Johanna and my friends. I'm actually going to share the video that was taken at that special moment that captured everything that I was working for the whole race. And thankfully, I was able to create a lifelong moment that I'll never, ever, ever forget. And all I had to do was endure the 26.2 mile journey of pain. Literally pain that was going on physically. Mentally, I knew what I had to do. Emotionally, I was a man on a mission. And I wasn't going to be stopped even if I had to hop to the finish line. So I'm going to show you the video. I hope you enjoy it. In the news, my friend Christopher from Triumph Triathlon in Boston, like I said, actually inspired me to do this episode. He had actually proposed to his girlfriend at the Disney half marathon this past month. I really recommend you read the article that he wrote, actually on triumphtriathlon.com. I'll share the link with you. And it's just amazing what he had to go through to make this happen. Christopher, we certainly share a common bond, and I certainly admire your commitment and courage to your girlfriend, now fiance, Ashley. So Christopher, thank you for sharing your story with the Triumph community and with the world. You're certainly an inspiring triathlete, an inspiring person. This week's Triumph Triathlete of the Week is Ashley Benner. Ashley was actually on the receiving end of Christopher's proposal, and she's also part of Triumph Triathlon. Ashley is actually one of the newer members of TriumphTriathlon.com, but she's certainly made a splash, and I hope you and Christopher have a wonderful life together, doing races, doing triathlons, and really just having a lot of fun. Congratulations, Ashley. So that's it for another show. Thank you so much, Boston Marathon, for all the memories. It's certainly a big event for a lot of people every year, and for me, it's certainly going to be a memorable time for the rest of my life. Good luck to all you runners this year. It's going to be a great event. Just a quick training update. I was actually recently sick for a couple days, and you know, as far as training and Ironman and everything that fits into the schedule, it's really hard. Being sick is very tough. But you know what? It's one of those things you have to deal with. You can't be 100% all the time, every day. But I certainly try to. And hopefully get back on track. So that's it for another show. Thank you for watching. Please support us by liking us on Facebook or subscribing to the video blog on iTunes. Both of those links will be provided. Again, my name is Ruben Austria, proud founder of TriumphTriathlon.com. Until next week, make it a great day.